Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be analyzing our monthly final, quarterfinal games versus XO. So some really intense games. If you managed to watch it yesterday, we're going through as to why we picked certain things, why we played it, etc, etc. So before we get into today's video, make sure you're using the creator code in the shop if you're thinking of buying any skins. Mine would be greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Alright guys, heading into the first game. So the bans on our side were Max and Stu, and on their side, Poco Surge. So in a best of 3 in the quarterfinals, we're up against another top 4 team. I feel like the top 4 teams consist mainly of, well, obviously of SK, Clash, Us, and XO. So obviously facing one of the best 4 teams in EU is going to be really tough. So they actually go with a bit of a targeted ban with Surge. Surge is really good on split and on triple. So I can see why they ban Surge. It's an amazing counter to a lot of aggros as well, especially with the likes of Cole. You see Surge basically run everywhere at the moment. So you can see with our combo, we see a lot in this meta, especially considering that we banned Max, because they're just really good with the Gene Max combination. Even though we got KC, one of the best Maxes in the world, it just removes a lot of those aggro compositions. So we're a little bit better, having more control comps. So Cursed, he goes in for the play there. That was a really awkward moment. I thought he was going to score. I didn't even know what really happened there. But as I was saying, the reason why Tara and Ems are just so good, you got the Tara pets, even though Surge isn't in the game, well, obviously because it's banned, the pets are still going to be really good against Gene. And we know that they either like to go the likes of Sprout in the middle or the likes of Gene. So Tara's just going to be a really good pick overall, and just a really good counter to Carl as well. Ems is going to be good down either the long lane or the short lane. To be honest, I've literally never played Ems, even in scrims, because a lot of times we've not really practiced with a Max Bandit too much. We wanted to try and keep it as well as a surprise pick as much as possible. We tried it a few times out in scrims whilst still trying to keep it secret. So Tom manages to get in there with the gadget. The last hurrah gadget is just so OP, especially for goals. There's basically nothing the enemy team can do when the tick pops that gadget. So while he goes for the play here, I luckily get, well, not luckily, I managed to get my gadget off and knock the ball out of his hands. KC with the Tara pull as well. So we're looking really good inside of this game. So a nice start from us. We're getting off the blocks with a good, decent comp, as I said, like the Ems, and Tara should be able to deal with his comp fairly simple. As long as KC is cycling his pulls, there's nothing the enemy team are going to do. So they do get some good pressure. The thing about Tick, Tick isn't the best against this combination because they can literally just run into his face a lot of the times. So we've got to be really careful. KC does go down. So as long as Tom survives a little bit here, we should be good to go. Some nice tick shots in the corner from Tom. And here, I'm just keeping the ball for as long as possible. There's nothing I can really do. Wherever I clear it, Yoshi's going to catch it. Luckily, KC has super on defense, and we're able to win the first game. So that's going to be game number 1 going to us. Let's hop into the next one. All right, guys, heading into the next game of triple dribble. So you got to really consider before you go into these games. A lot of people really do trash on like what comps we kind of go. Unless it's like a really stupid comp, you can't really fault us for the comps that we go, because we always go it for a reason. We normally try and predict what XO are going or the team we're facing, try and counter them and whatever else. So we went with the Carl because we were fairly confident that they would go to like a Sprout comp. We go B a lot in this on this map down the long lane, and Sprout just completely wrecks a B. They've gone Sprout a lot of times in scrims, so we were kind of a bit scared to go B. So that's why we went with the Carl to counter Sprout. But in the end, they had a really hard counter to Cole. All 3 of those brawlers counter Cole. Gene counters Cole with the knockbacks and the pulls. You've got Tara with the supers. You've got Ems with the knockback and her super as well. All 3 of these brawlers kind of wreck Cole. So we're in a tough spot just from the get-go with the comp. As you can see here, me and Waddy just awkwardly fighting down our lane. Waddy played a really amazing Ems, by the way, in this series. He was just using his Ems for pressure. I think that's a really underrated thing about Ems a lot of the time. The best thing about her literally is her pressure. She might not be able to do the most in terms of gunfights, but literally if she's got her super, if you pushed in an aggro position, she has a lot of HP, so it's really hard to actually pinch out Ems when in that power position. So I'm going to extend over here, just try and get Yoshi down. Do kill him with the gadget there. Bearing in mind that I knew the gadget did 500 damage, I could take him down with that. So let's get him down. Nice takedown from KC here. So to be honest, they've got the ball in the corner. We really need to get that ball out because in overtime, they're going to easily win. We've got a tick in OT. That's not going to be good. Gene's going to be able to destroy. So I didn't actually catch how that got into the corner there. I think I might have kicked it up or something like that. But they managed to get into the corner. That's really important in Brawl. I stress this a lot, but even more so in this meta. The team that plays with, well, it's kind of obvious. Like, you think it's really obvious, but to some people it's really not. Like, you need to keep that ball control So when you get a couple of kills, you can make an easy goal, because if that ball's in a corner, even if we get a team wipe, more than likely we're probably not gonna be able to get the goal. So he's here. Wadi actually gets the ball because he's they're in a really good position there. It's worth them getting the ball because they've got supers, they've got gene pools, so really good pressure from these guys. We're in a tough position here. So here I kind of have to walk into the ball to engage in a fight with Wadi. I get taken down. Wadi barely survives there, so that could have been really crucial. If we would have got Wadi down, I felt like this game could have gone a lot better here. Everyone really weak. That Tara pet healing like crazy. So yeah, in this position we kind of are screwed. They've got they do waste gene pool though, but the longer this game goes on, the tougher it's going to be for us. Casey gets a nice kill on the Ems though, but with Casey so low, with Vitara, with the Gene just constantly chipping him down, yeah, we're just holding on for dear life here. We're trying to at least make it so it's a draw. I get the ball here. I don't really know. Someone said, I remember reading the chat. I never really read chat too often, but you got to bear in mind, like someone said, that could you have super kicked that out? That would have just literally made them score quicker. So yeah, we couldn't have done that. So that's a good goal from them. In the end, you know, it was kind of obvious we were going to lose that one. If anything, at best, we we're going to get a draw unless somehow we managed to get a full team wipe, which would have been really hard with a tick in OT. But they're going to be able to take that Brawl game right there. Let's hop into the next game. All right, guys, now jumping into the next game. So we've opted for a Ruffs and a B combination. So the reason why we went Ruffs, a lot of times we like Ruffs on the long lane, but we wanted a B as well, because I was fairly sure that they would go the same composition. And even if they went like a thrower, well, I said, well, like, we can go Ruffs, we can go the wall break, star power, and you see those two sets of walls in the middle, literally two rough supers. You're going to break those walls, and the throwers aren't going to be nowhere near as good, so it's all down to that. So you see Tom straight away, he's going to aim for that first. We'll get that one down. I'm going to get the first upgrade, because a B with upgrade, I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to have to see how much damage I actually do with his upgrade. I forget a lot of times. I think it's around 4k damage. I think it's like 3.8k or 9k damage you actually do with the 3k shot with, originally when you get the upgrade. It's insane. B is so good with his upgrade. And you see Ruffs B combination that come out a lot of the times in Brawl. So we try and get some good pressure there. Get a nice snipe on Yoshi there. Unfortunately, we can't convert that pressure into a goal. So Wadi, as you'll probably see here, for literally, I think, nearly a minute, he's just going to be sitting here. So, and then we try and push him out. Tom, he's going to stay down that lane. So nice ball from KC. He's able to get a kill there. I get some nice snipes on Yoshi. And now it's about pinching Wadi. So Tom does get taken down by Wadi there. I think that was a little bit too aggressive. I know he's literally like one shot there, which is really unfortunate. But he should have just stayed alive, and we could have just eventually pinched him down. But again, it's good positioning from Wadi. It's just frustrating seeing the numbers on the screen. He was at like 60 HP, so close, and that just allowed him to get so much pressure. You can see Cursed down the lane here. He's going to have a lot of pressure there. I do 3k him beforehand, so I do divert the pressure a little bit there. I do kick the ball out the corner. I'm not too sure why I actually did that. I think I just wanted to make sure that Yoshi wasn't going to go and collect the ball and score there. So Tom gets his next super. I know there's a power up over there. It can seem wasted, but it's just better to get that wall out of the way, so I can just get Wadi out of there. I connect two shots. Casey with a bit of a wasted super there, which is a bit unfortunate. Don't think he really needed to actually use that, because it's just better to hold that Taurus super for pressure. But anyways, we've got a pet behind us, which actually gives us a lot of value, so they can't really do too much until they get that Tara pet down. Eventually does go down, but we're in an amazing position in OT here. I've still got, I think, all my B gadgets, because I've not really had to use them. We've just basically had the pressure for the majority of the game here. So I do bait out the gene pool, which is really good. I do overextend it a little bit, but then again, we do get the kill on Wadi, and this is where I think we could have scored. I think if Tom would have just gone literally straight for the ball, we could have maybe passed the ball to KC and scored. I don't know. I just thought we should have scored somehow there. Somehow we don't make that work. And again here, this is probably my bad. So we do slow Wadi there. We don't manage to get him down with that 3k. So here, we could have dealt a lot more pressure. So KC with a nice pull here, but I think we don't hit like a couple of shots here, which if we would have hit that shot on Yoshi, that would have been Yoshi dead. It would have been Wadi. I don't think we still would have scored that, to be honest, because Wadi, he had full HP and it was an Ems. Yeah, I don't know if we would have scored, but it would have been looking a bit better. And if I would have placed my gadget a little bit quicker, we would have stopped that pull. But regardless, it's going to end a draw. They're going to kick that ball into the corner. And yeah, I felt like that was a really wasted opportunity, because we could have won that game quite easily. A couple of misplays, but in the end, I mean, we played really well. We could have got the win there. Let's hop into the next game. Right, guys, hopping into the next game of Brawl. So another draw for us, which if you've seen the last times we faced EXO in the quarterfinals, I think we had like 3 draws or something like that. It's just 2 really good teams fighting it off, and it's going to be like that, especially when there's no like Gene and Max in play. It's going to be a lot of intense battles. So we managed to pinch down a curse there. So you can see by the mirror, it may seem like a weird comp to some people, but basically you kind of want to go a comp that's good against everything. So Sprout can just be really good at helping the lanes, and yeah, it may not be as good against like aggro comps, but that's why you've got the Tara and the Ems for you. You've got the Tara and the Ems to deal with a lot of Carl in this meta, Sprout to deal with like the B and whatever else. So this comp is pretty much bulletproof when there's certain bans in play. You know, you've got to think of what bans are actually in play. You've got to be really flexible, and that's probably what makes the best teams in this type of meta. With 4 bans, you've got to be prepared to play with every single ban in every single meta. You've got to be really good at knowing what is good and what is bad, what counters, whatever else. And a lot of the time, that will win games because you pick the better comps. And a lot of the times, right now in competitive anyways, they call it like the pro players, they call it rock, paper, scissors. So you think of it, it's really hard to actually give well, indefinite examples. I've done this a few times anyway, but you can think of it like Poké Double Tank that counters like the really control brawlers like the Mr. P's and whatever else, and then you've got the tank counters that destroy the tanks, and then you've got control that destroys the tank counters. So you can kind of see that correlation that happens a lot throughout Brawl Stars and several combinations. Basically what I'm saying, it's normally always a comp that counters a different comp. There's always some form of like strategy that can counter something. So whatever else. So you can just see about this gameplay. I've kind of just spoke about that for like a minute here, just rambling on, but not really much has happened here. I mean, we've played a really good Sprout, and so is Yoshi. Yoshi, if you don't know, Yoshi is probably the best Sprout inside of the world. Him and Chaos are absolutely goated. I've kind of got a little bit worse with Sprout, but this monthly final, I thought I was playing a really good Sprout in comparison to maybe what I used to, well, what I did in the previous monthly finals. But anyways, we get the, well, Tom gets a kill there on Curse. In fact, sometimes it was a little bit too chaotic, probably because of how intense it was. So in the Sprout versus Sprout, it's really awkward to hit Yoshi here, but we get 3 really nice taps. Unfortunately, he's one shot. He still remains full HP. So you can see here, there'll be another awkward gunfight in overtime. I place my wall, Yoshi places another wall, and you can see it's a really long wall in the middle here. This is actually just so fun. You've got the mirror matchups, Ems versus Ems, that is just so awkward. Tara versus Tara, yeah, everything about these interactions are just awkward, especially in a mirror match. So I'm trying to build my way up to the wall here. We get some good pressure on Yoshi overall. I feel like we're winning our 1v1 engagement overall. Much more really to say. 28 seconds left. Basically, it's just waiting for Tara to get super. That's going to be by far the most influential super. So Casey, I think he's calling in VC for literally like 25 seconds plus. That he's really close to super. So that's why well, the EXO will know as well that Casey's close to super. So Curse gets his super before Casey, but I mean Casey's just about to get his. I'm literally 1 shot away from super there. So that was super unfortunate. If you rewind that back, you'll see I'm trying to bounce the ball off the wall to try and get my super, and I know I'm 1 shot away from it. I'm probably going to be able to score if I get that shot. Unfortunately, I just can't get the shot in time, so it's going to end a draw, but nonetheless, we don't manage to lose, so we still stay in that set. Let's hop into the next game. All right, guys, jumping into the next game of Brawl. These games are just, honestly, they're so intense. Like another draw, that is 2 games going down to the wire. Just insane. So we've gone for the double thrower combination, and they've gone with Carl. So a good read from them. Their comp from the get-go, they should easily be able to win this. They've got a Carl to counter 2 throwers. They've by far got the better matchup. So as I said, we went the double thrower because it's really, well, Sprout's just really good down the long lane. It can counter basically any brawler. They nearly managed to score there. So luckily I actually caught that Casey with a really nice clearance as well. But unfortunately, Tom doesn't have any gadgets. He's just used his gadgets, so obviously it doesn't refresh or whatever it's called, like replenish quick enough, so we don't manage to actually save that. But as I said, yeah, Sprout's just really good on the long lane, especially as I mentioned earlier. Well, they like the Sprout because it counters like the B down the long lane, but just overall Sprout's just really good as long as they haven't got like a Max or like a Mortis, you know what I mean? There's really aggro brawlers to counter Sprout. So, and like the double throw strategy was really to counter the Tara and the Ems. If it would have gone Tara M Sprout, would have absolutely wrecked him from the combo. So I do get a nice wall there. Unfortunately, I somehow missed that Sprout shot. I have no idea why, but literally me passing that ball to him was a big mistake for myself. I don't normally really do that, give them ball possession. I feel like I'm pretty good at doing that. But in that circumstance, that was a really bad error because it's going to be hard for double throws to push up the map. So it's super, super important that we keep control of the ball, eventually get them down, especially considering that they're winning. That's the perfect scenario for these now. So they've got the ball cornered, 50 seconds. They can easily just cycle deaths in time. So I get a Sprout wall on Yoshi there. I'll just say we need to just push this right lane. We need to leave Yoshi. We need to just go up. I get some really good taps on YD. Just completely destroys him. I placed my wall on Curse there. Casey probably didn't see that I had the wall there. But I mean, that kind of did work out. Now, that looked like a really weird interaction. But that super did work out in the end. It was a bit wild that the Sprout wall. I did not plan on it being that big. Sometimes the Sprout wall interactions are so weird. Like the wall just comes out so big. It's crazy. So I get the ball out of the corner there. Get some really nice taps on the Curse. Able to take him down again. Some really clutch taps on YD. Able to get him down. And we're able to get the goal somehow. So that was amazingly played. You've got to hand it to like us for keeping composure. Getting the ball out of the corner and managing to get that. So here you can see I probably go a little bit aggro again. So close to squeezing this in. You see me lining that shot up. You seen the super selected. That was going to be a goal. But luckily enough, Casey had super. Somehow doesn't get taken down and he puts it in. So that was crazy. I had no idea that Casey was going to be able to score that. That was just so chaotic. So many like mistakes, but somehow working in our favor, and we're able to take the first Brawl set right there. Let's hop into the next set. All right, guys, heading into the first game of Minecart Madness. So you look straight away, as you see by those mushrooms, that means we've got the first minecart. And in these type of games, whoever gets first minecart in the first game, they'll get the minecart for the majority of the game. So bear that in mind. So we got really lucky with that. A lot of times the first minecart can dictate the pace of the game. A lot of times you probably see a good correlation with whoever gets the first minecart will end up winning the game overall. So that is a bit of a bad thing in Minecart Madness. So their comp is wild. I did not expect them to go this type of combo. I was expecting them to go like a Sprout comp or something like that. So they bring out the Bell, Sprout, Gene. So that's 3 mids theoretically. So the reason why they've gone at Gene's just overall good for pressure. You've got Bell's just really good mid, and Sprout's just really good at destroying these control brewers. And you can risk Sprout when there's no Max in play. That's the main thing. You don't see much Sprout in play anymore because, well, normally because not a lot of teams ban Max. So our Max is just going to run for a Sprout. But when Max is banned, all these different type of combos come out to play. So you can see here we're doing really well. Casey gets unfortunately taken down there, but considering that they've probably, I don't know who's got a matchup there. I think this is a fairly even fight. Tom uses Gadget to go in there. I feel like that was a bit too aggro. I don't know. We kind of needed to get pressure, to be fair. But at the same time, going into 3 people, he probably is going to die. So we've got the good pressure, though. They only need 1 gem, so this is going to be really tough. We need to basically keep control. Even when the minecart pushes us back, we need to be in an aggro position. So YD, I've never seen YD play Gene in his life, but he's playing Gene right here. And to be honest, we haven't really scrimmed with Bell in play at all. I know that probably sounds like I'm using an excuse, but we normally always ban Bell and Stu. We ban Bell and Stu in every competition. If you've watched us inside of competitive games, they're always our go-to bans, but we kind of underestimated Bell. We thought Bell wasn't really that great inside of Minecart Madness whenever we played her, so we kind of felt we could counter it with this combination. So they get that gem right there. Unfortunately, I get taken down by the Sprout. But I think we can still, yeah, we can still get a hold of middle. So Casey, he's just going to go really aggro here. We know we can get the gems in time. Luckily, the minecart actually, I think it was me, or minecart, I don't actually remember, broke that wall. Anyway, it gets me out of spawn. I kind of waste my splash there. I thought I'd use it for a bit of pressure. Probably a bit dumb to use it on a Sprout, but regardless, we managed to level things up. And this is where things get so intense. So Casey's in an amazing position here. Buddy knocks him back. Curse gets a nice super on Tom to get him targeted. And at a minute, we're actually got the countdown. So Tom goes in here, and you can see by the Sprout wall by Yoshi. That is insane. That is really good. At the same time, it's really clever from Yoshi, but for majority of the time, it was just really convenient timing because he probably used a super to block off Tom's super. As you guys probably know, that Sprout's super does interrupt a bunch of different things, and especially Cole's super. So it's going to interrupt that. It's going to stop Tom from supering and push him into minecart and kill him. So again, probably a little bit of a misplay. We didn't really need to go for that gem. I kind of see what Tom was thinking. We were going to collapse on that Sprout, but in the end, things just kind of go from bad to worse for us there. Managed to take that game right there. Let's hop into the next gem grab. All right, guys, jumping into the next game of gem grabs. So we switched things up a lot of times. Again, in scrims, we went with Gene Ruffs. Gene Ruffs is really, really good inside of gem grab right now. But unfortunately, they went the amber. We didn't really think they were going to go amber. I think we're predicting more than likely like a Gene comp or again like a Sprout. So that's why we brought the Ruffs. But regardless, we managed to take the first engagement. We do get the first 2 gems. So probably a bad pick from us was picking the Pam. I feel like from the get-go, Pam just really struggles, especially against well, all 3 of those brawlers counter Pam. We kind of went Pam in case it went like a Sprout or something like that. So I get a nice pull on Waddy there. I managed to dodge the Yoshi pull as well. So it's going to be super important for me to stay alive for this game, because Tom's basically going to be using his heal star power to heal me up, and in the long run, we're going to be winning our fights. So Casey, I think it goes down here. You know, he's got that target on him. He's got to get absolutely melted. So goes with some nice taps in the middle. So overall, not really too much to really say. Like, it's kind of even in both lanes. It's just going to be really hard for Casey to get too much pressure. I kind of feel bad because he's in that scenario where you just know it's going to be a long and painful game. So we just play things nice and calm. We're just going to eventually get some more HP with the Ruffs star power. So Curse with a nice snipe with a super again onto us. And just overall, they're playing really well. With Ruffs on Amber is going to be so rough, hence the pun. I like Amber just destroys Ruff, so I get a really nice pull on Waddy there. And this is where things just get horrible. Just look at that, guys. I don't even know what to say. I'm going to actually replay that because we can actually do that inside of this. Just look at it. So I'll replay it a few times because it was such a crucial point. 4k damage on the minecart. I know why it happened, but in my mind, everyone on side of Twitter, everyone in the chat, just they definitely agreed that shouldn't be an interaction. That is just crazy. I'll play it one last time because I think that literally turned the tide in the game. So you can see here, I get a pull on Waddy. I know in my head for a fact that I know Josh is looking for the pull. I know that it's not going to kill me at all. It's going to deal 2k damage. I'm going to bounce. Casey has his Pam turret. I'm going to be able to stay alive, but somehow, some way, I hit in the middle of the minecarts. I feel like it's definitely a glitch. I know for a fact that no one or any pro player has actually... Well, that sounds salty, but you get what I mean. I've never seen that interaction. So whether it's a glitch, whether it's intended, I don't know. It's just painful. We don't manage to get Cursed down. Well, Cursed is really weak as well. Somehow, Yoshi manages to stay alive. Those bell shots keeps Casey really low. And again, it just spirals out of control. Really unfortunate for us. We could have actually got all of his gems. Tom gets pulled there as well. It's painful to watch. It really is painful to watch, especially not trying to sound salty as well. So Waddy is going to connect Snooper on me, and it's basically GG at this point. There's not really a lot we can do. So there was definitely chances in that game as well. If you was actually opening your eyes and not just being a hater, you would clearly see that we had more than a chance to win that game. A couple of unfortunate things didn't go our way, but that doesn't take credit away from EXO. They played this really well as well. Let's hop into the final set. All right, guys, hopping into the final set, and this set is what I define as straight pain. It is painful to watch this back. So, as you see by their combos, the reason we went this kind of comp, so I'll explain this a little bit. So, the number one comp on this map, what is a couple? There's the Cole. Well, Surge is banned, you got to mind that as well. So Surge is banned, that means Cole's going to be even better. That means Ruffs isn't as good as well. So the main thing is you normally send Ruffs down the right hand side, but I know for a fact by playing a lot of scrims tournaments that Ruffs, he doesn't beat any single lane inside, well, on the right hand side, except for Surge. So I thought straight away, I can't really go Ruffs. I looked at their comps and they went a lot of aggro stuff because of Surge being banned. So they went this combination mainly to counter the Ruffs and a Tick. So if we would have went a Ruffs and Tick straight away from the get-go, would have lost. There's no way we're beating this combination. So we went to Colette because Colette's a really good counter to BB and Carl. Maybe we could have done something else. I was thinking in my head last night, we could have maybe gone like a Frank and a Primo, something like that. But as you can see here, I get my lane straight away. So if you guys wasn't watching down that left-hand side, you may have to rewind it. But Tom and KC, I don't think they communicate as well as to when to jump in and whatever else. Because I feel like in my mind. It's no hate to my teammates, because obviously it's a team game and we could have done stuff better as a team, but they should be communicating a little bit better to get that left-hand zone, considering they've got a Gale and a BB. BB wrecks a Cole, and a Gale should wreck a BB as well. I feel like if they play a little bit smarter, we would have been able to take that game. As I said, I got my right-hand lane. Eventually, I'm going to be losing my matchup versus Mortis. If you guys know that Mortis can basically dash out of Klett's super, especially if he's got the spinny gadget. Don't even know what it's called, but the gadget does 1.3k damage, and he's eventually going to get his bats. He's going to be easily beating Klett lane. So I do a good job to get my lane down the right-hand side. Unfortunately, miscommunication. Maybe we could have switched lanes. I don't know. We just played that really, really bad. We should be winning that matchup every single time. So that was really painful for us right there. Let's hop into the next game. All right, guys, jumping into the next game. So again, it's just straight pain. I don't know why we did that to ourselves. This is what I don't agree on 100%. Obviously, this was a team decision, but I don't know. We're just dumb for going the same comp again. So we just had a feeling that it'd go a couple of aggro brawlers at least. I've never seen Amber on this map at all. As I said, I've never seen it. So I do win the first initial engagement, but I know for a fact once the game goes on a little bit longer, Amber's going to easily kill me every single time. So all Amber needs to do is super me and then just literally hit me a couple of times. So I need to work my way over to this hand side. So I'm going to super back Yoshi here. I don't know if that was really the play, but I do manage to take down a curse with me regardless. So yeah, their comp is just miles better than ours. There's just not much that can really take an Amber down that lane, especially when Cole opens it up. I can't use my super for brush there. So we do manage to get a little bit of time back down this left-hand side. As I said, I need to stick on this Cole like a glue. That's the main reason I'm going Klett to counter the Cole. Like, Klett just completely wrecks Cole. So I do an alright job at dodging here. We do go on that right-hand side. KC goes down. And yeah, at this point, it's chalked. It's GG's. Like, they've Redivs with the comp. They definitely outsmarted us with that one. So unfortunately, we do lose the game. I definitely agree with the second game. Obviously, hindsight, it's bad. Like, you might think in the moment, oh, why did we pick this comp? But we always pick comps with something in mind. And as I said, as I mentioned, with Brawl Esports, you got to remember that a lot of times you can't really go a comp that doesn't get countered by anything. So there's always going to be some form of combination that's going to be able to counter yours in the long run. So unfortunately, we do go down to XO. And if you watch the rest of the monthly finals, don't want to really ruin it. So if you don't want it to be ruined, click off now. But XO, they get to the finals. They narrowly lose to SK in the finals. They played absolutely amazing. So it's really nice to see XO do really well. So just narrowly losing to XO, it's still really good. You got to bear it in mind, especially if you look at the leaderboards. We're still in like, I think we're fourth place. I think we're in fourth place right now. So we're still in a really good position in Worlds. We've got Drage joining us as well for the next qualifiers in 3 weeks' time. We've also got a new coach. We've got an analyst who's amazing as well. So we're going to have a really good boost going into the next qualifiers. So stay with us. I know the results haven't been the best right now, and I'm just as frustrated as you guys supporting us. So as I said, make sure to just keep supporting us, because I know for sure that the results are going to change around with our hard work. With the gameplays, the performances, if you're actually watching, they're improving. So we know if we just keep grinding, just keep going, we know we're going to get what we want in the end, and that is that trophy. Again, we've already got one. We want a second one for sure. So let's go and get it. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. So even when losing, you've got to look and analyze things. Yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.